Hey fam, welcome to another 7-Minute Social. I just wanted to recap. If you missed our brand new series that we just started this past Sabbath, we're doing a series called Attachments, and we were specifically looking at the story of Jesus' interaction with the rich young ruler. And the story goes like this. There's this rich young man. He comes up to Jesus and he says, "Hey, good teacher, good rabbi, what must I do? What must I do to inherit eternal life?" Great question. Um, and Jesus says, "Hey, why do you call me good? There's only one good, and that's God." And he says, "But you know the commands, you know?" And he lists the last 6 commandments, which have to do with our duty towards humankind, right? Our brothers and our sisters, basically loving them. And so his response was, "Hey, I've done all of this since I was young. What am I still lacking? What am I still lacking?" And Jesus said, "All right, you have only one thing that you need to do. Sell everything that you've got, give it to the poor, then come follow me." All right? And if you do this, you will live. You'll have life, and you also have treasure in heaven. And then Mark ends that, and he says that he went away very sad because he was super wealthy. And here's what we discovered. What we discovered this past Sabbath was that in reality, every single one of us has an attachment, right? And a lot of times we assume that the attachment might be the thing that we are attached to. For this young man, he was attached to his riches, to his wealth, to his influence. And that's what we might think. But as we dug deeper, what we found out was that he wasn't actually attached to the riches. He wasn't attached to his influence. He wasn't attached to his properties. He wasn't attached to any of that. What we discovered was he wasn't attached to the things. He was attached to the way he thought about those things, all right? He wasn't attached to those things per se, but he was attached to the way that he thought about those things. So in reality, what Jesus was asking him to do when he said, "Sell everything you've got, distribute to the poor, then come follow me," what he was saying was, hey, abandon your way of thinking. Abandon the way that you think about these things, and I will give you another way to think about things, right? Abandon the way you process things, and I'll teach you a new way of processing things. And so from there, what we kind of asked ourselves is, well, what are we attached to, right, on a day-to-day basis? And the reality is, every single one of us is attached to our own way of thinking, the way that we think about life, the way we think about the things that we're attached to, the way we process stuff. So God is asking us, hey, I am inviting you, God says, to abandon the way that you think. And I know that is hard. You know, if God asked me to do that, God's asking me to do that, it's like, that's so hard. Why? Because I've been thinking this way my entire life. And now you're asking me to abandon the way I think about money, the way I think about relationships, the way I think about my house, my car, my education, the way I think about basically my entire life, right, is an act of interpretation. As you and I live from day to day, you and I are interpreting what we experience, what we see, what we've come across. Like, we're interpreting all those things. And then we attach ourselves to those interpretations. But oftentimes, as we attach ourselves to those interpretations, really what happens is we imprison ourselves. And instead of being liberated and being set free, we actually, right, we put the shackles on ourselves. And then when Jesus comes, or when God comes and asks us to let go of things, it's really hard to do so because we've attached ourselves to certain ideas, ideologies, philosophies, whatever it might be. And really what it does is it keeps us from growing. It keeps us from experiencing new ways of living. So that was it, kind of in a nutshell. I would encourage you, if you did not watch it, to go back, because there was just so much stuff that we unpacked. And like I said, I just give you the super abbreviated version of it. But in the sermon, I mean, there's all these little nuggets that I was not able to mention here. But join us again for part 2 this coming Sabbath. You don't want to miss it. I promise, once again, God is going to just continue to teach us, challenge us, grow us, and love on us. And as you might have heard, if you heard Joe's 7-Minute Social, we do have an app. If you go to the Apple Store and you type in OFHOW, OFHOW, our app comes up. You'll see the little dove. It's blue, gray, yellow there. Tap on that, download it, and it'll give you direct access to everything that has to do with what we're doing, okay? You can watch your sermons. You can give to our church through Tithely. You can ask questions. There's also a prayer wall. Once you click on the prayer wall, it'll open up a page. On the top right corner of that page, it says Add. What you want to do is you'll tap the button Add, and then you write your request. It'll ask your name, so you can put your name, or you can keep it anonymous, and then you just write out, what is your prayer request. And we want to pray with you. We want to pray for you. So please utilize this app, and then you won't have to go to Facebook or to YouTube or to the website. I mean, it's all there. Not saying that you can't go to those things, but it's all available right there. All right, have a blessed day, and we'll see you this coming Sabbath.